London, the capital of England, the United Kingdom, is a 21st century city, with history stretching back to Roman times. Across the Thames River, the London Eye observation wheel provides beautiful views of the South Bank Cultural Complex and the entire city. London is famous for more than its magnificent ancient buildings. London is considered a very safe city. Even though there are parts that are dangerous, for the most part, completely safe to travel.
Perfect, 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 perfect.
As I said, London is famous for more than its magnificent ancient buildings. The interesting fact about London is, it is the smallest city in England. London is also called the Smoke, or the Big Smoke. Today, we're going to look London, iconic buildings. Before we going to see, make sure subscribe the channel. Let's begin. 30 St. Mary Axe, informally known as the Gherkin. It is a commercial skyscraper in London. It was completed in December 2003 and opened in April 2004. The building was constructed by Skanska. As I said, it was completed in December 2003 and opened on the 28th of April 2004. The primary occupant of the building is Swiss Re, a global reinsurance company, which had the building commissioned as the head office for its UK operation. The tower is thus sometimes known as the Swiss Re building, although this name has never been official and has more recently fallen out of favor since the company's main headquarters is in Zurich and the Gherkin name has become more popular. Architects promote double glazing in residential houses, which avoids inefficient convection of heat across the relatively narrow gap between the panes. But the tower exploits this effect. The shafts pull warm air out of the building during the summer and warm the building in the winter using passive solar heating. The shafts also allow sunlight to pass through the building, it making the work environment more pleasing and keeping the lighting costs down. On the building's top level, the 40th floor, there is a bar for tenants and their guests with a panoramic view of London. A restaurant operates on the 39th floor, and private dining rooms on the 38th. Most buildings have extensive lift equipment on the roof of the building, but this was not possible for Gherkin, since a bar had been planned for the 40th floor. The architects dealt with this by having the main lift only reach the 34th floor, and also a push point from point below lift to the 39th floor. There is a marble stairwell and a disabled person's lift, which leads the visitor up to the bar in the dome. Since its completion, the building has won a number of awards for architecture. In October 2004, the architect was awarded the 2004 Stirling Prize for the first time in the prize's history. The judges were unanimous. In December 2005, a survey of the world's largest firms of architects published in 2006 World Architecture 200 voted the tower as the most admired new building in the world. However, Ken Shuttleworth, who worked for Foster Partners on the design of the building, said in 2011 that he believed the style was now outmoded. The building appeared in many films, such as Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, became the spaceship centerpiece for Keith Mansfield's 2008 novel Johnny Mackintosh and The Spirit of London. In September 2006, the building was put up for sale with a price tag of £600 million. Potential buyers included British Land Securities, Prudential, Ain, and the Abu Dhabi royal family. On the 21st of February 2007, IVG Immobilien, an UK investment firm Evans Randall completed their joint purchase of the building for £630 million, making it Britain's most expensive office building. Swiss Re booked a gain of more than £300 million from the sale. The new owners are seeking compensation from 4 of their former managers on the deal, in which about £620 million was paid for a building, with a build cost of about £200 million, giving the previous owners a clear £300 million profit. Deloitte announced in April 2014 that the building was again being put up for sale, with an expected price of £550 million. The current owners could not afford to make loan repayments, citing differences in the value of the multi-currency loan and the British pound, high interest rates and general financing structure. In November 2014, the Gherkin was purchased for £700 million by the Safra Group, controlled by the Brazilian billionaire Joseph Safra. What do you think about this iconic building? Comment below. And next we going to look the Shard, also referred to as the Shard of Glass. Shard London Bridge, and formerly London Bridge Tower, is a 95-story skyscraper designed by Italian architect named Renzo Piano in Southwark. It is one of the tallest building in Europe. Its height about 310 meter, and it have 95 floors. Renzo Piano, the project's architect, designed the Shard as a spire-like sculpture emerging from the River Thames. He was inspired by the railway lines next to the site, the London spires depicted by the 18th century Venetian painter Canaletto, and the masts of sailing ships. Piano's design met criticism from English Heritage, who claimed the building would be a shard of glass through the heart of historic London, giving the building its name, the Shard. Piano considered the slender spire-like form of the tower a positive addition to the London skyline, recalling the church steeples featured in historic engravings of the city, and believed that its presence would be far more delicate, the opponents of the project alleged. He proposed a sophisticated use of glazing, with expressive facades of angled glass panes, intended to reflect sunlight and the sky above, so that the appearance of the building will change according to the weather and seasons. The Shard's construction began in March 2009. It was topped out on the 30th of March 2012, and inaugurated on the 5th of July in 2012. Practical completion was achieved in November in 2012. The view from the Shard was open to the public on the 1st of February 2013. The glass-clad pyramidal tower has 72 habitable floors with a viewing gallery and open-air observation deck on the 72nd floor. At a height of 244 meters, the Shard was developed by Seller Property Group on behalf of LBQ Limited, and is jointly owned by Seller Property by 5% and the state of Qatar by 95%. The Shard is managed by Real Estate Management in UK Limited on behalf of the owners. In November 2007, building contractor Mace was awarded the contract to build the Shard for a fixed price of no more than £350 million. However, this price increased to almost £435 million in October 2008. The more interesting fact about Shard is 6 women climbed to the top of the building's exterior in July 2013. Construction workers found a fox near the top. The Shard is made up of 11,000 glass panels on its exterior. It hosts what might just be the ultimate penthouse. You can enjoy the view. The viewing platform is actually 3 floors when in the restroom 244 meters above London. The average lift speed is 6 meters per second. And the fun fact is, you can save £5 per ticket for the view from the Shard when you book in advance. And then Big Ben. It is a nickname for the Great Bell of the striking clock at the north end of the Palace of Westminster in London, and is usually extended to refer to both the clock and the clock tower. It is 96 meter tall. Big Ben was originally the clock tower. It was renamed Elizabeth Tower in 2012 to mark the Diamond Jubilee of Elizabeth II, Queen of the United Kingdom. The tower was designed by Augustus Pugin in a neo-Gothic style. When completed in 1859, its clock was the largest and most accurate 4-faced striking and chiming clock in the world. The tower stands 315 feet tall, and the climb from ground level to the belfry is 334 steps. Meet you in next videos. As